There are places in the desert where sound feels out of place, where even questions echo too loudly. Wild Horse Window is one of those places. A natural opening in the stone, a frame shaped by water, wind, and time. Some call it the Eyes of Sinbad. Others just know it as a place that asks you to slow down. Inside this alcove, there are markings on the rock, figures that resemble memory, that feel like a story. And before we try to explain them, it's worth standing still long enough to listen. Most people don't come here looking for debate. They come with curiosity. They see figures and feel something ancient stir. They sense that someone stood here long before us, pressed their hand to stone, and left behind a thought, or a warning, or a prayer. In Utah, that feeling makes sense. This land holds thousands of authentic petroglyphs and pictographs, real writings that have watched centuries pass without asking to be understood. So when hikers say this feels ancient, it doesn't sound foolish. It sounds human. But the desert has a way of hesitating, of quietly questioning us in return. Those who spent decades studying rock art, or simply walking these canyons long enough to know their language, often stop here and feel something different. They notice the thickness of the paint, the boldness of the colors, the absence of weathering that time usually insists on. Some say the figures feel rushed, unpracticed, less like conversation and more like interruption. And there are stories, shared quietly, from longtime hikers who say this wall was bare years ago. No ceremony, no record, just suddenly there. As of now, there are no peer-reviewed archaeological studies here. No pigment dating, no formal confirmation of age or origin. Some visitors point out similarities to known Fremont or Barrier Canyon styles found nearby, especially at places like Buckhorn Jaw. Others see only imitation. The truth is, there is no official answer. And maybe that's why this place lingers in conversation. Because uncertainty makes us uncomfortable. Because we want either a miracle or a verdict. But the desert rarely offers either. Across the Southwest, authentic rock art isn't decoration. To indigenous peoples, including the Southern Paiute and Ute, these are sacred writings, connections to ancestors, markers of movement, ceremony, and survival. When those writings are vandalized or imitated, it creates confusion. It blurs truth. It adds noise to something meant to be listened to, not rewritten. Even if Wild Horse Window was never a sacred site itself, the land surrounding it still carries meaning. And meaning deserves honesty. Maybe the lesson here isn't whether the images are ancient. Maybe it's how quickly we want certainty, how easily we confuse feeling with fact, how often we want the land to speak to us instead of allowing it to remain silent. Wild Horse Window doesn't need to be ancient to be powerful, and it doesn't need markings on its walls to deserve respect. And sometimes, the most honest thing a place can say is nothing at all. So, if you come here, come gently. Don't touch. Don't add. Don't leave your mark. Because the desert remembers everything, and it speaks best when we learn how to listen.